think GBKs could do it because, Gia had that song that I put on TikTok, by the way, Waking Up in the Morning. That's why it went viral, was because of me.
Stop
Um,
it.
yeah.
Wait, stop the presses. Literally, stop. What
I
A, what made you do it? B, what did it feel like to see something go viral like that? And did you ever get any kind of thank you?
I never got a thank you. She even made a clothing line saying "Waking Up in the Morning," and I'm like, and then on the reunion, Andy Cohen was like, "We don't know who posted it." I'm like, it says my name on the bottom of the thing.
MeMeCherry presents a series of fortunate events. Fortunate events. Fortunate events. A series of fortunate events.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back, everybody, to the latest episode of the series of Fortunate Events Papa Podcast, brought to you by who? It's still me, MeMeCherry, and I'm joined today by
Amir Yass, hi.
Yes. And is it polite for me to say Ramadan Mubarak?
Yeah, it is. Thank you. It is
Of
very
course.
polite. It is very,
Okay, good.
yes.
Good.
Ramadan
I
to everyone listening if you're Muslim.
Okay, good, good, good. Famously, because I'm so famous, I've talked about it on the podcast that I've definitely explored many faiths and many, styles, and ultimately I'm about like the universe and nature, but I respect everybody's, and I appreciate deep culture. And I appreciate anything that has like I'm a ritualistic person at the end of the day. So there's something about culture and ritual and just something running so deep through like generations that like really speaks to my heart. So like,
Mm. We have a lot. Yes, because I'm Persian and Muslim, so the Persian culture already has a lot of that going on. And so
yes.
Persian New Year now, plus it's Ramadan, it's just a lot of fun cultural stuff going on.
You should have been on Shaw's.
I really should have. I know all of them. Reza was just on my podcast. So yeah, I love Shaw. So maybe when it comes back, maybe you'll find me on there.
Yes, that would be adorable. So I came across you. You have been joining David Yontif on Behind the Velvet Rope. David is my pod coach. So
Oh,
shout out David. Actually, I was just DMing with David because we are scheduling a follow-up session because I have so much to update him on since our last session. There's been so much positive growth and so much change. And I can't wait to update him and then have him give me my new North Star.
I love it. I love it.
But but he helped get us this far, and so thank you, David. Shout out David. Shout out Behind the Velvet Rope. But you also have your own podcast, as you just
Yes.
mentioned. So would you
Yes.
like to tell my listeners about your podcast?
Yes, so it's the Vault podcast, and I'm my co-host Monica. I'm sure you guys follow All About the Tea. So she does All About the Tea. So she's
Yeah.
always on Housewives, and her blog is everywhere. So yeah, so it's really fun. We've had some really great guests, so it's been great.
Oh my gosh. And so you have a background in PR, aka public relations. What is that background? Like give me like a quick little like TLDR rundown.
Sure. Oh, I like TLDR. Yeah, basically, I moved to LA when I was 18, and I've always loved celebrities. I've always loved to be around them. So my first job was with Gen
So
Art,
that was
and
last year.
that was last year. Oh, that's nice. It was 20 years ago, believe it or not. Yeah, so it was 20 years ago when I moved to LA. And it's crazy to say it out loud, but yeah, it has been that long. But I worked for this company and they used to do events and then we cast Project Runway. So just being
Oh wow.
yeah, so that was really fun. So just seeing the casting process and just being around celebrities. And then I've worked with everyone from the Kardashians to Michael B. Jordan, Gwen Stefani. So I've worked with all of them and I've seen the iteration of shows like Atlanta. I've seen, you know, the girls trip come together. I've seen, all those shows like just come together. So it's just been really cool to be on the other side of it.
Oh my gosh, you just unlocked something in me. So you said you moved to LA 20 years ago and your first big gig was Project Runway. And funny enough, the first podcast I ever listened to was the Project Runway podcast, which made me then look into other podcasts. I found Podcast Alley, I found Don and Drew, and through Don and Drew, I ended up finding Keith and the Girl, who Keith Malley, that's my pod daddy, is going on 20 years of
Wow.
his podcast. So, but how funny how small and how big the world is, right? But
Mhm.
that's so funny. Like you just took me back to being a loan processor at Countrywide Home Loans, listening to the to the podcast. Make it work.
Amazing. I love it. Make it work. I remember that. It's funny.
Yes. Okay. So what's one PR disaster that if you had to manage it would ultimately be your villain origin story?
That's a good question. Let's see. I mean, I think the Ashley Simpson, situation on SNL with the yeah, that I feel like would have undone me. That or Hugh Grant and the sex worker, that whole thing. So I feel
Yeah.
like that would have been a lot to handle. So those two would
Yeah.
have been a
And,
lot.
and Hugh Grant and Eddie Murphy, no?
Yes, both. Yes, absolutely. So either or. But with our PR firm that I've worked at, luckily all of our clients, we've been able to keep them out of the news because
Yeah.
that's really the job. I mean, the PR goes wrong if you are in the news. That's the whole point. There's so many scandals that we've helped quell, and so it's
I guess, yeah, you're right. So, in theory, as a PR person, when you're doing your job well, your client is getting good press. Although
yeah,
there is the whole like there is no such thing as bad press, but there is such a thing as bad press. But yes, and so I guess it's more of like a fixer type, like
yes.
the como se dice, what are they called? That I guess now they're saying that like Blake Lively is calling in
Crisis.
like the
Yeah.
big, yes, the crisis management firms
Oh,
that
yeah.
like I guess they're the ones that deal more with like the nightmares day to day.
Those are constantly you're putting out fires. It's kind of like Olivia Pope style. You're constantly putting out,
Yes.
and I
On
feel
the
like
flip, yeah, go
yeah.
ahead.
No, no, I was just gonna say with Blake Lively, like even with all the bad press, she's still at the film premiere.
Of course.
So, is
Which
there really bad press?
I mean, kudos mama, you know.
She's doing her thing.
I love when is it Anna Kendrick that's the opposite of her? When they're like, I guess somebody in the press line was like, "What's it like working with Blake Lively?" Oh,
I'm
you
out.
That's very Rihanna, like rolling the window up and just
Yeah,
driving
she's
away.
driving away. I mean, that was a good answer. I mean, it,
Yes.
it said everything that needed to be said.
Again, kudos, mama. Mama, kudos. So on the flip side, if you were called in Olivia Pope style to crisis manage a celebrity, who would you like happily take the call? You're happily taking that check. You will proudly be on the other side, holding them at the PR conference when they have, come to the other side of the crisis. Which one would you like?
That's a good question. I mean, I think anyone from the Kardashian clan, Kardashian Jenner clan, I'm like, yeah, because I feel like once you do them right, they're always gonna have you in their back pocket.
So
They're always
Chris.
Kris Jenner, number one. Number two, anyone from Paris Hilton, Nicole Richie, any of that old kind of cool, like early 2000s crew, Lindsay Lohan, I'll take any of their calls.
Oh
Yeah.
my God, yes. So talk to me a little bit more about your podcast. What made you get into this kooky world of podcasting?
So during the pandemic, once my TikTok was kind of like growing and I was definitely like posting all these videos and recaps, I thought, well, why don't I just have a podcast? And before that, I had a podcast with my friend for fun. We would just meet and like interview our friends. It was like really fun. So that one, I was with the second podcast, I was with Broadway Podcast Network. And so then I was able to have like a producer and an editor and an engineer, and they would book the guests. It just ended up becoming a lot more seamless. And then when Monica and I kind of were talking about how we could like collaborate, it just a podcast made sense. But obviously it is very inundated. Like I feel like everybody has a podcast now. So it's hard, it's not as easy as it used to be. I feel like a couple years ago where if you had someone with a big following and they posted it, you would get the views. I feel like we get a lot more traction on Instagram than we do on our podcast. I feel like that's kind
Yeah. Yeah, no, it definitely is. Podcasting is goes through waves. And again, I've been a fan of the medium for 18, 19 years. And so I've seen it. I've seen it be a thing where like, what is podcasting? I saw the first boom. I saw the second boom. I saw the third boom. I saw what I call the housewives boom. There was like a moment where like every housewife had a podcast. But now there's one key word to me, if I'm going to say two or three keywords to me that equal success in my point of view as a viewer, as a receiver of the medium: consistency, high quality, and passion. And
of.
so to me, that's where I'm trying to tap in now. Like I started this podcast in 2017. It was very much like a little like hobby. It was audio only, super crunchy in the beginning. I put it down because, it costs money to like host, because I always wanted to own my own IP. That's one thing I also learned from like, the Keith and the Girls of the world. Own your content, own your IP, which I'm glad now to this day I always did. But, again, paying for hosting, paying for Squarespace, all that stuff costs money. And so I put it down, to pick it back up, put it down. In the pandemic, I brought it back up and was doing over Zoom. Then I put it down because I moved and I got a new job, and then it just got hard again. And then I saw friends of mine start a drag podcast here in the Bay Area. And I saw friends of mine that like had been guests on my show, or like people that I would love to have on my show if I would have had a show at that time going again. And it low key made me a little jealous. And I quote them like, and I credit them. Shout out Phoebe, shout out Crumble. I love them. And in my Crumble opinion, check them out. And so I was like, I want to play with my friends again. So I got it back up again. And then last year, I finally was like, you know what? I'm going to actually put some effort into this. And I redid the website. I got a photo shoot. I got a new logo. I started the Patreon. I finally had enough content that I felt worthy enough to like start a may I have your pennies? But and that's been like a process and a learning process, and I'm still growing, and it's still a baby podcast, but I'm banking on consistency, passion, and high quality, and just sticking to it for a couple of years at a consistent basis, that on Mondays you're going to get an episode of Sophie Pod, that in your Patreon you're going to get at least 3 to 4 times a week some nibble of something. I just it has to work, right?
Has to work. I think consistency is key. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. Do you want to play a little cute little game?
Yes, I do.
Okay, I have a fun little game for you. I'm calling this Happily Ever After or Canceled Forever.
Oh,
We're going to take PR disasters, but we're going to give them a fairy tale pop star twist. And you're going to crisis manage, not PR. You're going to crisis manage my little prompts and see what we do. So, how do we feel about Taylor Swift versus Scooter Braun, but as Snow White? Taylor is Snow White, but instead of an apple, she gets poisoned by bad record deals. And Olivia Rodrigo is maybe a rebellious, vengeful princess. How do you crisis manage and or sell this movie?
ooh, okay. Selling this movie. I mean, the log line would be like, I mean, you don't need a driver's license to see this movie, right? Like, you don't need, you can come in and watch this movie. So I think that there is definitely like, there's a lot of potential in that because obviously with their big following, you can pitch that. And then I'm assuming Scooter Braun is one of the dwarves.
Or
Like,
no, Scooter Braun is the evil witch.
oh, he's the evil witch. I like that.
Yes, because of the bad record deal.
Yes, yes. I like that kind of gender switch too. That's kind of fun.
Yes.
Yeah, Scooter Braun is a little bitch, so I could see that. I could see him.
I
I could see him. I've heard some stories about him, so I could see that. I could see that. Okay, I mean, how would I pitch it? I mean, And then Travis Kelce, is he gonna be in it? Like, I'm wondering if we can throw him in there
Snow
too.
White, Snow White. There's a prince in Snow White, right?
Yeah, there's a prince. We can throw him in there.
And then who's the fairy godmother?
Ooh, the fairy godmother.
Does Snow White have a fairy godmother?
She doesn't, but she has
She
someone,
has
doesn't she?
the dwarves. That's who
There's
helps her. So then,
a-
then who are her helping hands?
Where are helping hands?
The Kardashians.
Yeah. There's a lot of them. There's enough of them. There's enough of them to make the
The
dwarves.
Kardjenners. The Kardjenners.
Our Jenners, yes, that's perfect. Oh my God, I would
And
watch
that
that
sells
movie.
the movie.
That sells the movie. That sells the movie.
Okay, okay. I like the idea more of like how do we sell this movie versus PR disaster. I like this
Okay.
better. Okay. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's royal exit, but it's Rapunzel. Meghan Markle is trying to escape the royal tower, aka the firm, with Harry, but maybe who's the villain? Who's the villain? I guess Daddy King? Yeah, because he's the king
Daddy King.
now.
Yeah, he's a king, so Daddy King is good. Mhm.
Yes. So how do we sell Daddy King is not wanting to let Megan, aka Rapunzel, escape the firm, aka the tower, and Harry is the prince that's coming to like, ooh, and if she doesn't have hair to let down, what does she let down? What is Meghan Markle known for? Like she's very not likable now in like media.
Oh, not with her new
Oh, what if it's tabloid covers? She has to lay down tabloid covers outside of the tower so that Harry can climb up the tabloid covers to
would watch.
save her from the firm.
I would watch that.
I'm just pitching random ideas and you're like, yes.
No, it's really good. I like that because then he can slip on the last one that's about the exit, and then she can catch him.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And that's the poster. Is like
That's-
him climbing up the tabloids.
with all the like Hello magazine and like
Yes, the hellos.
Yeah,
And every once in a while it's an hola, because that's my grandmother. That's what my grandmother used to read.
Oh my God,
Back in
so
Puerto
cute.
Rico.
Hola.
Okay, last but not least. Madonna and her Instagram filters, aka Sleeping Beauty. Madonna is Sleeping Beauty, but instead of a spindle, she falls into an AI filter curse that makes her unrecognizable. Maybe Sleeping Beauty. And you know who is in the mirror? Mirror, who's the fairest of them all? Playing the mirror? Lady Gaga.
Oh, I like them pitted against each other. Okay.
And then ultimately, Sleeping Beauty. There's because there is an evil queen who is talking to the mirror, right? It's dear mirror on the wall. That's not Cruella de Vil. It's
Relative.
and anyways.
Ooh, wait, someone's in the mirror. Who is in the mirror?
So Lady Gaga's in the mirror.
Okay.
Madonna Sleeping Beauty.
Okay.
And the evil queen who's asking who the fairest of them all is Cher.
Ooh, okay.
What is this
Very
poster
gay
looking
movie.
like?
Very gay.
It's very gay.
Yeah, very gay. What is the movie poster looking like?
Is it Madonna laying there with like the phone in front of her? Like, you know how when people lay in bed with like the phone in front of them?
Yes. So you have like the glow of the light from the phone on your face. That's good.
And of course you're laying down because that makes everything like look nice.
Yes, and then Cher is in that like leather jacket onesie outfit she wears with the tights, like that,
Yeah.
like very, very Cher outfit. And then Lady Gaga is just doing abracadabra in that window, in that mirror.
And ultimately, you know who's the fairest of them all?
Ooh.
Gaga.
I would watch that movie. Yeah, that movie would sell very well, especially during the month of Pride.
Yes. And you just know that all the queers, all the drag queens would be recreating it.
Yes, you know
It
it.
becomes Peaches Christ's next stage production.
Oh yeah.
Shout out Peaches Christ. I love Peaches Christ. Thank you for indulging me.
No, that was fun.
Let's talk a little Bravo, right? I feel like that's a pond that we both love to swim in. It's interesting. I'm gonna pose something for you. You
Okay,
tell me if you're swimming in this pond or not.
okay.
Housewives, have they jumped the shark? I say they've jumped the shark a little bit.
What does that mean?
Ooh, I was gonna ask also if you know the
Yeah,
concept. So there's this concept of jumped the shark.
okay.
It famously goes back to the Happy Days
Okay.
show. And that in Happy Days, there's an episode where Fonzie literally jumps over a shark.
Yes, yes, I do remember this
And
now.
that's kind of where they started to lose the plot, is basically kind of like the
Yeah,
concept.
yeah, kind of
And
fell
so
apart.
I feel like Housewives is starting to lose the plot.
100%. It's just not working. The first premiere episodes are always boring. There's so many filler episodes. It's like drags on. And it's the same fight. I'm rich, you're not. I'm rich, you're not. It's like, I don't know. I'm quite exhausted by it.
I know. I'm curious to see like how much life do you think the franchise has? Or are they gonna just artificially keep it alive because it's Daddy Cohen's baby project? And will they just like keep it plugged into the wall
I
alive
think they
longer than it
will.
needs to be?
Yeah, they will. I think they will. Now they're going to do Seattle, and then they're talking about doing Rhode Island. They're not going to stop.
Seattle?
Hmm. Hmm.
Seattle?
Hmm.
Seattle.
Seattle. I mean,
Get
there's a
ready
lot
for a lot of indoors content.
indoor content, but there's a lot of money there. So if they find the right people,
Yeah, there's tech money up there.
yeah. But I
Yeah,
don't know, I'm just tired of it. Even Atlanta, it's
I know.
like Shamia
I
hasn't
know.
been out, and like I don't.
Yeah, and the fact that like the new girls come in like with like a playbook. It's
Yes.
like you come in either flashing your money or ready to fight.
Hmm. Hmm. It's
Or
artificial.
yeah, and like it's feeling very produced. It
Yes.
doesn't feel like we're following these people's lives around. It feels like, and it's interesting, right? Because I find myself watching a lot of YouTube. And like
Mhm.
for example, social media is having the biggest boom that it's ever had. And I have a hypothesis that it's the new reality show
Mm.
because reality has become so produced
So
that
produced.
watching a vlog, which also is relatively produced, right? But it's almost like a like what old school reality show level production used to be. I feel like is what you get now on YouTube.
Absolutely.
And
Or like
like,
Snapchat even. Like I'll watch
yeah,
one story on Snapchat and you see and it's like almost feels like you watched a TV show because it's like all the stuff of their day.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And then the fact that like there's other channels recapping like what these people are doing, just like how there's recap shows for Drag Race or recap shows for Bravo shows. It's really interesting. Yeah, I'm curious to see where all these mediums will go. I think podcasting as a medium definitely is saturated, but to me, that's proof of concept. People will phase out, because if you're not really passionate about it and you're not making a lot of money at it right off the bat, you're going to give it up within a year or two. So, like a lot of these housewife podcasts, if they're not already gone, a lot of them are going to be gone in the next year or so. And with that, a lot of other shows are going to phase out too. And then that's why, like, I think that like shows like Me and You and like David, that's why David got floated to the top because David stuck around and stuck with it and stuck with it and grinded it and, grinded it out. And so I'm curious to see how podcasting is going to continue to grow because now there's more production value. Now people take it more seriously. Social media is more serious. And so then I wonder what's going to happen to like legacy media,
Mhm.
things like Bravo, things like NBC, things like Peacock. They're trying to tap into that social media, but their legacy. So it's interesting. What
Mhm.
do you think? What do you think is going to
Humble.
happen with like SNL, for example?
It's so like it feels like it's kind of like when someone's promoting something, they're like, we have to go on SNL, we have to do the late night shows, we have to do this, it's like a formula. And in Bravo, people too. We have to go on virtual tea, like Page Six. We have to go talk to Bryce. And it's like, I'm like, those are, I don't know, no offense, but it's a little boring. The
Yeah.
mediums, like it's like you keep going to the same people and you're having the same interview every year when a new
Yeah.
housewife comes out. So it just
Yeah.
feels a little boring. But
Yeah.
like I mean, even SNL, like I'll watch the clips of the funny stuff, but Like even SNL 50, I was like, I'm not watching this crap from
I
beginning to
know I didn't watch it, and I love Bad Bunny, and I didn't even watch it for him.
I didn't even watch it. I was just like, it's boring. It's very, it just feels like it's trying too hard, you know?
It is. Yes, it is. So yeah, I'm curious to see. I'm curious to see if it'll get a facelift. I'm curious to see if it'll phase out. I'm curious if it'll just become like radio, that it's a thing that's always there, but like just not I feel like we've seen the heyday of reality TV being this like Hollywood replacement. I don't think it's replacing Hollywood anymore. I think it's
No.
just kind of become Hollywood.
It's just like its own thing. It's like now you have like Paige and Hannah on the red carpet at Vanity Fair. So
Yeah.
it's like they're kind of blending in. And with traders, a lot of these like I'm sorry, Ciara's not a star, like from Summer
Yeah.
House. Sorry, no offense to her. But like now on
A
Traders,
piece
it's
of
like
love.
acting like she's a star. I'm like,
I
not really,
know.
not really.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. Yes. And that's another thing about reality is that it makes, like, are they stars or are they reality people? You know what I mean? And like this word star gets thrown around. But then I
Yeah.
guess, yeah, anyways, I was gonna go somewhere that is not YouTube friendly. There's other star that you put something else in front of it and then you're a star. But anyways.
That part. That,
I know. I've been really trying to pitch myself to like reality people and people outside because it's relatively easy for me to tap into the local drag scene
sure.
for guests. Now I'm really hoping to like tap into reality. I've been courting Carl from Summer House for a
Oh
while
yeah, he's great.
just because of the sobriety aspect. Like I'm going on 11 months almost sober.
Oh, congrats.
Carl's,
Amazing.
thank you. Of alcohol, I'm California sober.
I love that. Oh yeah,
Keep
yeah.
myself accountable. But I love Carl's vulnerability and Carl sharing his story. And I keep getting closer and like I've gotten some emails back and like I keep hoping for like the final, like, yes, he's ready. And then I saw that Nene started her own like YouTube show, and I love Nene.
I
When I first
love.
started this podcast for many years, I had a game called Go to Bed Wig. And you can imagine who that was inspired by. And so literally she was and she came up in my algorithm. She was like, "Oh, I started my YouTube channel. Email book Nene at," and I'm like, "Don't do this." So I emailed her a pitch trying to get her on the show. She literally emailed me back before we started, just like a thank you and heart, heart, heart. And I'm like,
Love
do I take that as a yes?
at a yes, like
Is that
some
a
of
yes?
these housewives are kooky. Like Dorinda was like, "I'll come on," and then the next day she was like, "Who is this?"
I
So
know, I know. But then I literally was like, okay, let me run to my YouTube. I know I have a clip of me playing Go to Bed Wig with her edited in it. Let me just kiss her ass one more last time and let's just shoot that last shot. So I
do it.
sent that off right before we started.
I'm happy you did, as you should.
I'm just gonna keep shooting my shot, and like
I
I
always
mean,
do that. I'm like, send as many as you can. You're gonna get some response. I mean, I just DM whoever. I don't care. I'll
yeah,
DM Lady Gaga.
yes,
Who
yes, literally.
cares? You're not. I mean, you never know who's gonna see what.
Yeah, yeah. I'm just gonna keep shooting my shot. I do that. Like I send DMs, I send emails. If I can find an email contact, I send it. I love it. I mean, I got you.
There you go. I mean, I love it. I love it. I know. I think that if you don't ask, you don't get.
Yes. Okay, let's play one more little gamelet.
Do it.
Bravo related.
Okay.
Who do you think has the best PR team in Bravo history?
SPRT history. Oh, that's a good one.
Like, let me give you some ideas and maybe you can rank them.
Okay.
Let's say Lisa Vanderpump, Bethany Frankel, Kyle Richards, and Andy Cohen. Out of those, let's rank those. Who do you think has the best PR team?
Andy has the worst PR team because he's
Whoa!
always so I would say he's fourth. Then I think it's Bethany's third. Kyle's probably second, and Lisa Vanderpump's first. I mean, she's gonna have a freaking hotel. I mean,
Oh my
like
God,
I've been to
iconic.
her restaurants. I used to do PR for actually Guillermo, who used to who literally started the restaurant, sir, not Lisa Vanderpump. And she never, and so we got him on the show. Remember, he was on the show a little bit because
Yeah,
she's saying that she started the restaurant. She did
yeah,
not.
yeah,
Like he started the restaurant. He was a
yeah, yeah,
busboy.
yeah.
He bought the restaurant. So
Lisa Vanderpump's the Elon Musk of restaurants.
totally, she is. She really is. So I would say she has good PR because her food is like awful, and I don't know why anyone goes there, but they
Oh
go.
wow. I've always wanted to go, so thank you saving me that coin. Although I am excited about because it's a Vegas hotel. I'm excited because I love one thing that I love is when I take the podcast on the road. I love doing a hotel suite pop-up, very like old
Yes,
school media when they would like do the PR, kind of whatever, except I just don't
love
have the
it.
background. But
I love it.
so I'm excited. I'm excited to see what the hotel looks like because I might kind of like again try to pitch myself. I'm pitching myself to the Virgin brand right now. Like I'm shooting my shot all over the place.
But as you should, as you should.
Yes. Okay. Who needs a PR intervention like yesterday? I'll give you some names. You pick one. Teresa Giudice, Denise Richards, or the entire cast of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
I would say the entire cast of Beverly Hills because I feel like Denise Richards, her show is so wonderful. It's so old school
It's so
reality,
cute.
kooky and cute. I love it. So
Yeah.
I definitely Denise Richards can do no wrong. And then I think, yeah, I think the cast of Beverly Hills that definitely is.
You don't think Teresa?
No, because she has her podcast. She's with her daughter. She's like, my daughter's my daughter's. Like, she's
My
fine.
daughters, my
No one
daughters. Love,
cares.
love, love.
Love, love,
Love,
love.
love,
She's just like
love.
crazy. So I don't think.
Okay. I'm gonna give you some potential pop star or band names, and you
Okay.
tell me which one is getting the hit single.
Okay.
The Vanderpump Kids,
Okay.
the Giudice Kids,
Okay.
or what's his name on Salt Lake? That makes the clothes.
Oh God, Brooks.
Yes, or Brooks Marks and his mom.
Okay.
Brooks Marks and Meredith Marks.
Oh God, that band would be awful. Monotone. No, no, no. Did you, I mean, Gia had
Because
that song.
The Partridge Family kind of vibes.
I think GBKs could do it because, Gia had that song that I put on TikTok, by the way, waking up in the morning. That's why it went viral, was because of me.
Stop
Um,
it. Wait,
yeah.
stop the presses. Literally, stop. What
Oh,
A, what made you do it? B, what did it feel like to see something go viral like that? And did you ever get any kind of thank you?
I never got a thank you. She even made a clothing line saying waking up in the morning. And I'm like, and then on the reunion, Andy Cohen was like, we don't know who posted it. I'm like, it says my name on the bottom of the thing when
Andy
everyone was
Cohen is the
getting it.
most hateful British cigarette ever. He
Literally.
only likes other British cigarettes if they're tiny and he can bone them. If
It's
he
so
can't
true.
bone them, he doesn't like other British cigarettes.
100%. You nailed it. And I know you're talking about British cigarettes, honey. I got what you were putting down. No, that's how he is. Like,
As a member of the queer community, I hear the other one a lot, but it's not mine to say, but I don't mind British cigarette.
I like British cigarette. I'm okay with that. I mean, if you're part of the queer community, you can say. I mean, I always say you can say that word if you're not saying it hatefully, right? Like
Yes. Yes.
but yeah, they just. I mean, Will Smith even duetted it, and they kept being like, "We don't know who." And it was just. I mean, again, I'm not going to complain. Like BuzzFeed, all these people covered
Yes.
it. It was amazing. Like I never thought that it would have that impact. But the reason I posted it was because Donald Trump was leaving office, and I posted that saying, "This is what he's going to be singing the day after he leaves."
Stop it.
It didn't go anywhere. I'm telling you, for months, it didn't go anywhere. And then someone duetted it, and then it just became a thing. It was crazy.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Yeah, social media is such a kooky, weird,
You weird.
weird world. Okay, last but not least, spin this scandal into box office gold. Which one of these is the one that we're turning into a poster? We're doing the full court press behind this movie. The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills versus the Paparazzi.
Oh, okay.
Teresa Giudice and Joe Giudice versus the court.
Okay.
Or the Vanderpump Rules scandal, but like in a Mean Girls kind of like vibe.
Oh, and we're making this into a movie?
Yes. Which one is box office gold? And it's probably a Netflix movie where it's not really box office, but digital box office gold.
Number one on Netflix. Got it.
Yes. Number one on Peacock.
Yes, got it. Got it. Okay, got it.
Lifetime movie.
Yeah, Lifetime movie. Exactly. Okay.
The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills versus the Paparazzi.
Okay, that's a no.
Teresa and Joe in their legal drama, very kind of like those old novels, those legal novels that would get turned into like legal movies,
Okay.
or Vanderpump Rules as Mean Girls.
I think Vanderpump Rules as Mean Girls is the best one because then you can kind of make it a musical like the one that came out, and I think that would do really well. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And maybe Ariana would come back to that. I know she's not coming back to Vanderpump Rules, but she might come back to that.
And then, of course, Sheena finishes it out with "It's good as gold."
With Lady Gaga. Apparently they're friends now, so I don't know.
Oh, and then Ariana's the one that like she doesn't even go here.
So good.
Okay. Before we finish out, I'm gonna ask you a couple more kind of like PRE type hot
Yes.
take questions.
Please,
If
please.
you could erase one celebrity scandal from pop culture history, which one are we taking the eraser to? What are we wiping from pop culture memory?
I think this Blake
Who's
Lively Baldoni thing. I'm
Oh
over it.
wow. Oh, it's just because you're over it.
I don't care anymore. I'm like, both of you
You just don't
suck.
want to hear about it.
I just don't want to hear about it. I don't think either of them, like, I mean, he's obviously more right, but I just feel like both of them are wackadoo. Like him sending voice notes at 3 a.m. Like he's a little weird too.
Yeah, it's very two lefts don't make a right.
No. No. But
Just go back to
I'm definitely not team like Blake Lively at all because I got creamed for saying that early on. So
Yeah, she's not my cup of tea. She's not my cup of milk because I don't think she's even has enough flavor to call her tea.
agree,
Sorry.
agree.
I mean, I'll tell you to your face, Blake. I'm not trying to get you on the podcast. That much I know. What is your biggest PR prediction for the rest of 2025? Like, who do you think this summer? Okay, last summer was Brat summer.
Yes.
Right. And Chappelle Roan was kind of like getting traction. And our dear Sabrina was espressoing all over the place, all over our faces, giving us all the espresso. Oh, sorry,
A
that's a
lot.
different movie. Who do you think is going to be like the hot ticket item this summer?
I think it's going to be Doechii. I think
Oh,
everyone's obsessed with her. She was at Paris Fashion Week. She's everywhere. She just did that duet with Will Smith and Tatiana Ali,
yes.
Fresh Prince. I think she is and Billboard already called her Woman of the Year, and it's like 3 months in. So
March.
it's like a little soon.
That starts to feel a little like okay, don't put too much salt in the milk. Don't put too much salt in the milk. um
A bit.
yes. And okay, so if we're manifesting a beautiful PR summer for Doichi, what are we
Yes.
manifesting for Amir?
Oh, that's a good question. I think that I've spent 20 years trying to make things happen without being able to monetize it. So I think I'm at the point where I'm like, ooh, like, doing stuff like just always creating content for free. It's like nobody wants to pay for it, and I understand that to some extent, but it does get kind of frustrating because you're
It
like,
does.
especially on TikTok, at one point I was making 8 to 10 videos a day, and it's like the minute I wanted to like charge for anything, it was like, well, we're not paying. It's like, well,
Yeah,
yeah, like you just want
I
free
know.
content. So that's what I'm manifesting is a little bit more of a monetization of my content.
Same, same. I mean, I have a whole board in front of me with like stats and numbers and goals and strategies, and I keep refining my strategy because I have a day job. I work, for corporate overlords during the day. I think you know which ones because you've seen calendar invites. Um, and so this is all very much like, well, it was self-funded for a long time. Finally, last year, I finally started to unlock some monetization with Patreon. And now the big unicorn that I'm chasing, there's two unicorns that I'm chasing with a possible third. Again, based on my research, somebody was very generous. I love content creators that don't gatekeep monetization, but that are not scared to talk about money. Like a lot of people are scared to
A
talk
lot of
about money.
gatekeepers, though. A lot of people said they were going to
Yes.
help me when I started, and all of those people have disappeared.
Oh, look at that. So
Mhm.
there's somebody that recently shared like a content creator that they had something go like super viral, like super viral, and they literally broke down how the apps paid out. Like what apps are actually out here paying and which ones aren't. And TikTok, unless you got into TikTok a while ago, TikTok is not paying. TikTok pays, but it's not really paying. That the ones that are out here paying is YouTube consistently because they're the big daddy on the market. Facebook, surprisingly enough, because they just are, wanting to get people on the eyeballs on the old, and it's Facebook, like the old app. Um, and then Instagram. And so that's why right now, like my big goals is I'm trying to unlock the 1,000 subscribers on YouTube because that's like the magical number for monetization. So if you're watching this on YouTube, please hit subscribe. If you're at a friend's house, open their computer, hit subscribe. It's not illegal. They'll thank you. And then on Instagram, just trying to get that magic number for thank you. Shout out sponsors. I've been able to unlock some beautiful sponsors, but I would love to be able to unlock some bigger sponsors. Like I dream of working with PopFlex. I love PopFlex. I literally wear them every day, but I recognize that my Instagram following is just not big enough. And like, I'm not scared to say that, but it's growing. And
You're
so
building,
like,
you're growing. That's all that
yeah.
matters. And I think that nowadays with micro influencers, they're not looking for the million, 2 million followers anymore. They're not.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So that's what I'm hoping to hit. I'm hoping to hit that like micro sweet number.
Yes.
And so I hope that if I stay on track and if I stay consistent, I feel like in the next few years I could probably unlock it. So that's the goal.
For sure. You could
That's the
totally,
goal.
I think even faster than that. Yeah, yeah.
Thank you. Okay. Well, with that in mind, we're going to tease our listeners and we're going to tell them that they should actually also go to patreon.com/MeMeCherry Productions, because if you liked those fun little games that we just played, we're going to go over there and play 2 more games. I usually have guests stick around for 1 game, but Amir is so fun that we're going to have 2 games over on Patreon. So sorry, main show. I could have one of them over here, but you know what? No, I'm going to make it extra sweet for the Patreon for the sugar and caramel tiers. Oh yes, we have sweet tiers over at Patreon. We have the honey tier, the sugar tier, and the caramel tier. So for $3, $6, or $9 a month, less than a cup of coffee, less than eggs. For less than a carton of eggs, you can help support independent media. Independent media now more than ever is important. And you're supporting a small creator, you're supporting a queer creator, and you're supporting creators supporting creators. Because one of my mission statements of the Patreon is that money actually doesn't go into my pocket. It actually gets redistributed back. I pay my guests for their time because I think that every artist's time is valuable, especially in this economy when carton eggs is more than $9. So I say all that to say that I recognize that money is tight right now, but just know that when you give me a little bit of money, I'm taking that money and I'm spreading it into the community. And that's what I'm going to say about that.
Hey, I love it. I mean, as someone who's been on hundreds of podcasts, it's like to be like, obviously I would still do it no matter what, but like, I think just it makes you feel valued. So I really appreciate it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Of course. So we say a lot to say. Check out patreon.com/MeMeCherry Productions. Where can they find you on social media?
Medea. Amir Yass Official is my Instagram and TikTok. And then the Vault podcast page is my, it's the Vault with Monica and Amir on all platforms. So go and listen.
I stole that from the Watch What Crappens boys. They like to say that social media is like the uncredited cast member on every show. Speaking of social media, you can find me on Instagram, MeMeCherry, IG, MEMeCherry, IG. Go hit follow. Go check me out. Oh, last but not least, we have our live show coming this year, August 7th at Oasis in San Francisco. We are locked in. We have our venue. The tickets are live. They're on sale right now. So if you go to sofepod.com/live, SOFEPOD.com/LIVE, you can hit the ticket there, the link there that'll actually take you to go buy the tickets. And go buy a ticket. They are very, very well priced for an Oasis cabaret show. They're being very, very nice to me and not charging an arm and a leg because, again, in this economy. And it's a 7 p.m. on a Thursday evening show. the Thursday right before Outside Lands. So you can get your Outside Lands pre-party started with MeMeCherry's Big Bake. We are bringing drag, comedy, and the Bay Area's first reverse roast. I think actually the first official reverse roast, although Andy Sandberg technically did it first. But I'm calling it the Bay Area's first reverse roast because in this dark world, we need to uplift each other, not tear each other down. So you might
Yes.
go to other roasts where they talk shit about each other. We're gonna uplift each other in a mean way because it's still a roast.
I love that. I want to go to that. How fun.
Yes, please do. Please do. Come on over August 7th, San Francisco, Oasis. Check them out. It's an iconic venue. Thank you, Oasis, for partnering up with us. I'm going to tease out the cast as we get closer to the show. If you do follow me on social media, there are hints. I will tell you, I'll be there. So check us out. Thank you, SOFEpod.com, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.
MeMeCherry presents